Hey Dave. First off, I get you. Your video makes sense. So my brain in this initially lands on the point that objective truths are truths that we unveil about reality that are true, whether or not we believe them to be. Scientific tools and instruments that are better at procuring data than we are, right? They reveal what is objectively true about reality. So in my mind, looking at something objectively as close as possible is looking at it without factoring in the whole human consciousness factors. Because the fact that sits right next to my first point, like it's forever buddy, is the idea that I am stuck inside of this consciousness forever, maybe. So there's no way to not factor in to me in the reality that I perceive. My brain's narrative, my life story, and all the factors that have shaped my consciousness makes everything that I say, feel, think, and label as subjective. One of the most common human errors, right, is thinking without awareness, and this idea of being way too freeing on labeling what is objectively true. To me, objectivity ends where subjectivity begins. This, of course, is an oversimplification, as usual. It's usually when data is no longer relied upon for figuring things out. For example, eyewitness accounts are basically the worst form of evidence for what has happened in a situation. Our brains rewrite memories constantly and add things in where there was nothing. James Allen calls the mind a great servant but a terrible master. The mind's complexity is its biggest advantage and its most dangerous pitfall. Even emotions are hardwired. They're learned guesses based off past experience, which is something I learned that rewired my entire brain from a TED Talk that I saw at some point. I don't even remember the title of the TED Talk, but I remember the main point of it. Anyway, there are important actual visible and invisible skills we can utilize in the prioritization and verification of the truth. To keep it close and remember it well in the changes that we're trying to seek to make. Again, depends on the area of that change. To respond in life to things not based off the truth, right, can cause chaos and throw everything off track. This takes a lot of integrity and vigilance and awareness. That's why journalism is really hard and time consuming. The magic of the human species is our capacity for collaboration and working together to figure stuff out, because then we can have each person bring to the table best what they do. As usual, not an expert on this at all. Not my lane, Dave. But there's still value in discussions like this. It's all about integrity to the truth, how to best gradually do things well, based on the truth. We gotta all agree what the truth is. And next step, beneath all the data stuff, more about humanness, even fictional stories have truth, because you cannot create anything without investing humanness into it. Whether it's a story or a real thing or a tool introduces the complexity of this. We can't disassociate ourselves from the things that we create. What it means to be human and the values and the attitudes and the motivations and the passions and the purposes, all that stuff is included. Subjectivity is really interesting because it applies so deeply to people's narratives. That's the human world. There are very few things that are objectively true, and we need instruments and tools and systems to be able to understand that objectivity. The next closest thing to the truth may be the awareness, the acceptance, and the curiosity of it. I think we can live better knowing and responding to the truth well. So thanks for making me think about this. Have a great day, Dave. Get some rest, and hopefully I'll see you Thursday.